All right, how we doing, everybody? Matt Modi here with OddsJam, here to give you my favorite NBA player props for today. Of course, what I'm doing, hopping on OddsJam, hopping on the positive expected value page, finding some awesome, sharp, mathematically profitable player props. So let me give this bad boy a refresh, and we can get into it. So when you are betting on sports using OddsJam, using the positive expected value page, the way it works that I'm sure everybody is familiar with at this point is these no vig odds here kind of give you the true line of what a market should be priced at. So the way it works, OddsJam back tested betting opportunities, just trying to determine what sports books do the best job at pricing odds, right? Historically, these X amount of sports books were the most accurate at pricing odds, so we're going to use them to set the market for future, betting opportunities. Makes sense logically, and it's worked out to a ton of success. I've been using OddsJam for a little over a year now, and I just hit the over 15K profit mark, which is amazing. And the majority of this is from positive expected value betting, so it's been working incredibly for me. So these no vig odds can be viewed as the true line of what a market should truly be priced at. So anywhere in which you are beating the closing line, you're beating the no vig odds, you're getting a mathematically profitable bet. But with that said, that doesn't mean every single bet should be blindly taken. So I'll show you the type of research I like doing into bets to decide whether I think they are a good positive expected value bet or not. And as you can see, as I refresh, plays come and go, showing you the importance of moving quickly. So make sure that when you are sports betting, when you find a good positive EV bet, you don't dilly-dally, you take it as soon as you see it, because they can go away pretty quickly. So this first one here, the DeMar DeRozan under 4.5 rebounds. So the play is -1, almost -139 according to the no vig line. And the books, which is Bet Rivers, Barstool, Unibet, TwinSpires, price this at about -125. Not at about. They price it at -125. So right off the bat, pretty massive gap between these two books, right? Or between these two numbers. It's like almost a 14-cent difference between the no vig odds and what Bet Rivers is pricing it. But right off the bat, that looks good. But what you want to do is you want to click into a play, as I have done here, and you want to see where every other sportsbook is pricing this play. You basically want to find out, okay, is this -125 a true outlier when you compare it to the rest of the betting market, right? Because when you're betting on outliers, you're betting on mathematically profitable opportunities. If majority of the books have something priced one way, the bet that you are placing is priced a different way, the more likely scenario is that the book that is the outlier is a mispriced line that is incorrect, that will be profitable in the long run. Of course, not every single bet is going to win, but the goal is to place a lot of bets and to win majority of the time to be profitable, right? We're trying to make money, not win every single bet. So right off the bat, we see the -125. We see two books that are kind of closer. PointsBet, FanDuel, -135, -136. But then look at the rest of the betting market. Caesars, -154. DraftKings, -150. Bet365 and FoxBet, also at -150. Now, Pinnacle, which is the sharpest sportsbook in the world, does the best job at pricing odds, prices this at -197. This also appears to be also appears to be an outlier. So the Bet Rivers line is an outlier at -125. The closest book is -135. Majority of books are 25 cents higher at a minimum in the -150s. But the Pinnacle line also seems to be an outlier. So let me make sure that nothing's changed here. So this isn't a bet that I would avoid. I just wouldn't put the full recommended bet size on it. Whenever I am betting the full recommended bet size, number one, I mostly limit myself to player props at about one unit, which for me is $100. Player props, I love betting them. They just have higher variance than normal. So I normally don't bet above a unit on player props. But because of this one, because that Pinnacle seems to also be an outlier, I would probably round this one down. I'd probably cut this in half. I'd probably put 70 to 75 bucks on it. I'm not going to put lower, like a $50 bet, because I do think it's a good one. I do like the fact that majority of the books, aside from two of them, are pretty decently priced below the -125 number, but it's not quite a McSlam worthy. So this one I think is worth a 3/4 unit play. So I would put 75 bucks on this one. So you can add things to your bet tracker by clicking the plus button here, entering the amount that you put on, or you can click directly into this box here to put how much you put on it as well. So this one, I'd recommend putting 75 3/4 of a unit on it. Click save to make sure that you bet saves, and then we can refresh and continue to look through the positive EV page. So another one popped up here, the Miles Turner one. This one I actually am going to avoid. The reason why, so Pinnacle at plus 108, this one, there really is no majority, right? Everything's kind of priced in between. Plus 115 at Fox Bet, plus 126 at Caesars, plus 138 on FanDuel. Both of them are closer to the Bet365 line. So this one, to me, isn't enough of an outlier to place, which is kind of why I am not taking this Miles Turner's one. So to give people an idea of bets that I'm taking versus bets that I'm not taking, this is kind of the stuff that I look for. This plus 140 isn't really as much of an outlier when you compare it to the DeMar DeRozan one. So the next play that I like here is this Jason Tatum over 7.5 rebounds. So there's a couple things that I like about this one. Obviously, the Nova Gods priced this at minus 102. The Jason Tatum, the line at Fox Bet is plus 105. So right off the bat, you see the positive expected value there. But the reason why I like this one is look across the board at where the other sportsbooks price it. So plus 105 on Fox Bet. Pinnacle has it at minus 106. So still favoring the under at minus 125 and the over at minus 106, but the over is still for minus money. It's not even money, it's not plus money. So still pretty good price compared to the Fox Bet line. But look at other sports books. Bet365 favors this going over. They have the over at minus 120. They have the under at minus 110. They favor the over, as does BetRivers, as does DraftKings, as does Caesars. Now FanDuel and PointsBet have it a little bit favoring the under, but not as much as the Pinnacle line. So to me, this is a pretty good price, this Jason Tatum over 7.5 rebounds. So for this one, I still probably wouldn't put the full unit on it, mostly because I like to put the full unit when the Pinnacle line, the DraftKings line, because DraftKings actually does a really good job with player props. So we kind of use them as a sports book to set the market. And there's a third one which doesn't have odds posted yet, Bet Online. Those are the three that I look for with player props: Pinnacle, DraftKings, and Bet Online. If those three are in agreement, then I'll follow the recommended unit size up to a unit. And this one, I'd probably round down again to 3/4 of a unit. This one, I don't need to add to my bet tracker because, as you can see here, Fox Bet is a book that you can track automatically. You can sync it to your OddsJam bet tracker automatically. So if I click Fox Bet, you see right here, you've already linked your Fox Bet account. So it will be added automatically. So I don't need to manually add this one, but this will be my second player prop, Jason Tatum over 7.5 rebounds. Let me give this one a refresh. And a couple of plays, excuse me, have popped up. This Zach Levine under 20.5 points I'm going to take as well, plus 105. This one, I'm just going to put a half unit on. DraftKings favors the under. Most of the other books have it for kind of even money or close to minus 105, minus 101, minus 108, minus 102. So not quite as good as the Tatum one. Still a pretty good price because I like the fact that DraftKings does favor the under at minus 120, the over at minus 110. So this is going to be my third NBA player prop, Zach Levine under 20.5 points. And one thing that I haven't shown you yet that you can do this with spreads and totals, and you can also do it with player props, such as ones that have higher numbers, essentially. Points, rebounds, assists. For the NFL, it's pretty much any yardage one, passing yards, receiving yards, rushing yards, whatever. If you open the event page in a new tab, it pulls up where every sportsbook is pricing this total at. So right now, it doesn't really give us a better price because if we're taking Zach Levine under 20.5, we see some books price it higher at 21.5, but they're heavily favoring the under. So to me, I don't think it's worth betting 1 point above and sacrificing 25 to 30 cents of juice. So to me, the best play is still the Bet365 at plus 105 under 20.5. But sometimes you can find good plays if you open up the event page in a new tab. You can find better ones, but not in this case. So this is going to be my third and final NBA player prop for today. So this one, I'm going to put half a unit on, just adding this one to my bet tracker as well at $50. And that is going to be it. So 3 NBA player props for you guys to tail. If you do, comment and let me know. But that's all I got. So appreciate you guys watching and have a good one.